Creating a good DBL experience for your students, like all instruction, takes practice and testing. In this video, we'll review how to test and evaluate the impact of the DBL activity on your students. This will provide you with valuable feedback that will help you refine the DBL activity into a powerful learning experience. There are things you can do before and after you implement the DBL activities in your course that will help you improve the overall DBL experience. Before implementation, test your DBL assignments with students by having them record their thinking as they go through each problem. This can be done using a Zoom recording. You can then make refinements based on the feedback. After implementation, evaluate your students' performance as well as their perception about the effectiveness of DBL as a learning experience. This is likely where you'll find most of the refinements to your DBL activities. How to evaluate student performance. Compare DBL student performance with non-DBL performance on DBL-related test items. This can be done by comparing a current course with DBL to a previous course without DBL. You could also compare a current course with DBL to a current course without DBL that you or another professor teaches. Here's an example of a DBL test item compared to a non-DBL test item. How to evaluate student perception. Ask students to describe their experience through wide-angle and focused-angle questions. Wide-angle questions are more broad and general. Our first wide-angle question is open-ended, which allows the student to give a longer response in their own words. It asks, "What was your experience like with the DBL activities?" Our second question is scaled, which essentially functions as an agreement scale. It asks, "How much do you agree with the following statement? The DBL activities really helped my learning." The students can then select one of the four options listed below: strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Focused angle questions are more narrow and specific. Our first focus angle question asks, "What was your experience like with doing DBL problems first and then the non-DBL problems immediately thereafter?" And our second question asks, "How much do you agree with the following statement? Doing DBL problems first and then the non-DBL problems immediately thereafter really helped my learning." You could also ask them about how DBL made them more aware of their learning gaps and gave them a way to close those gaps. This question asks, "How helpful was the DBL software in helping you see the gaps in your learning?" And then ask the students to explain their answer. Our second question asks, "How helpful was the DBL software in helping you fix or close those gaps in your learning?" Based on your students' performance, their perception, and your own observations, you can make improvements to the decision model, the learning modules, the wording of the problems and scenarios, the number of problems in your assignments, the number of non-DBL problems that target the DBL skill, or a project at the end of the semester that captures the DBL skill in a holistic way with other core skills. Contact your CTL consultant with any questions that you may have.